what's going on?
What's up, Jimmy?
Check this out.
Oh, dang. Hold on. What's
Yeah.
going on?
Man, we are flipping rolls today,
Okay,
baby.
all
And you
right.
better butter up, because it's going to be, I'm not nice like you.
Oh, man. Here we go.
I'll come at you.
Put me on the spot.
Yeah. So, when you and I do like our shows together, it's not like we spend a lot of time like on what are we going to talk about, right?
Right.
It's usually, okay, I had this thought.
Yep.
And so I was thinking, since we got off the whole scam thing,
Yeah.
the social media stuff,
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about social media because one, you're my guy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
two, you know your crap.
Yeah.
So I want to just kind of give people out there an idea if they've never done social media for business or personal.
Yeah.
Or if they have done it
Mhm.
and maybe they're stumbling and not getting what they think they ought to get.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some tips you can give them to help them, because now I'm gonna try and get this right. You are a beta tester, right?
Yeah, beta tester on Facebook and Instagram.
So that means that you get to see the stuff first.
I do. So before algorithms.
So let me stop here.
Yeah.
So this is key, right?
Yeah.
Because you will see something coming down the road that other content people may not see.
Yes, facts. I mean, the podcast, for instance, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is something that has been talked about on our beta call. Because you can batch content so much, so quickly in mass quantity and get it out there on every platform, right? And so this whole idea of branding by podcast came from that.
Wow.
So this whole studio and everything that has been built out today was because of those calls.
Because you and I go back a couple of years now, right?
Yeah.
And we start out the same way, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy, give me 45 seconds in front of the camera.
Yep.
Give your mortgage bill, and then we'll drop it and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And what I've read, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think you've told me this too. Well, what I've read is that really the 30 and under, they're kind of getting away from social media.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Well, there's a big push right now, period, to get off social media and kind of not spend as much time on social media, because ultimately social media has just become comparison, right?
Right.
It's we get on social media, we see everybody else's ideals and what they're doing in life and stuff like that, and we start to compare ourselves and start asking ourselves the question, why are they doing so good and why am I not?
That's so true.
You see what I'm saying?
You never know what's going on behind closed doors, right?
Never.
Because we want to put a projection out there to make it look like, oh, we're great. Nothing's going on, right? But you never know.
Yeah.
Have you seen it gotten worse over the years?
Totally. Yeah. Dopamine hits, right? It affects your brain in wild ways. I would equate it to a drug,
Yeah, because it's crazy what people will put online, right?
Yeah.
And it's the stupid stuff that gets all the attention, right? Or the controversial stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of pissed off people out there.
And I think it's really relation, right? There's no rhyme or reason to why a piece of content does better than another piece, other than the fact that people can relate to it. See, social media was created for connection and community.
Right.
And so that's the foundation of social media was connection and community. So the way social media works is when you put a piece of content out there and it gets liked by a lot of people, then the algorithm's like, oh, this is good content. Or if they nowadays, right, if they sit on your reel or whatever you're posting for a period of time, that tells the algorithm that they're looking at that and they care about
so explain algorithms and how do those change?
that. Dude.
Is it just what's popular?
Yeah. So,
and everything is steered that way?
So algorithms change based on usually a board of people, but also what's in demand. So trend, right?
Right.
So for instance, back in the day on Instagram, you used to have to put 30 hashtags on your post just to get noticed, right? Like
Right.
just to get in the communities and pockets of people that could relate to that, right?
Okay.
And then when you did that, you got extreme viewership, you got extreme likes and comments and engagement, and your post did well. Nowadays, the algorithm has changed in the sense of it's SEO keywords now. It's
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, let's go back,
yeah.
Mr. Social Media. I know all the lingo, and I'm not going to share it with you. Blah. What is SCOE
Yeah.
or P or whatever it is?
Yeah, SEO is search engine optimization.
Okay.
So, on Google, where you type in, some sort of search that you're searching for, based on the keywords within that search, it will produce you results.
Okay.
So, about 3 years back, all social media platforms switched over to an SEO model, the algorithms,
Okay.
right? So now it's about the keywords. So the hashtags in your caption don't even help you any more than just keywords within the caption.
Oh, so it's pulling words out of what you're saying.
Yeah,
right?
or the copy too, like
Right.
the actual post, the text
Yes.
that you post on there. That funny enough, like that is like super important in comparison to even the content that you put on the video. I would say like 80% of importance is in the copy and in the description. And then the rest is the video, the visuals,
All that.
that stuff grabs people's attention and it holds people's attention. But to get it in front of the people that you want to be in front of, it's that copy.
Because that's crazy. Because remember when we first started,
Mhm.
right? I was really doing well in Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's shifted that I'm in YouTube now.
Yeah.
And really a lot of stuff we didn't change.
Yeah, we didn't.
But maybe they changed the algorithms?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say the algorithms change weekly. It's not something that, sits for long periods of time. Just when you start to figure out something, the rug gets ripped out from under you and you're having to figure out, okay, what is it seeking now?
Do they do that purposely?
Yeah, I think so at this point. I would love to say so, but I don't know.
Just to keep things fresh. So.
I think that is a big play. However, I really think it's just pivoting towards trend and what's going on in society and how they can create more attention on their application.
Okay.
So even though it was built around connection and community, there is a hint of greed within these platforms. And so they want people's attention on these platforms. They want you to be on social media. They want you to be a freaking piece of hamburger meat.
So they're
scrolling.
To them, it's all about who's viewing the content on their
platform. Yeah, to hold them on. So when we do stuff with you, for instance, and we're plastering it all over the place on all these different platforms, that's good in the sense of we're catering to each individual platform and you could create more viewership and engagement and potentially business, right?
Right.
However, each individual platform is fighting for your attention and they want to keep you on their platform. Hence why, I don't know if you've ever done this or not, you made a Facebook post and you put a link to another website or an article or a YouTube video or whatever it was, and it only gets like 3 likes. It doesn't get any comments. It doesn't get tossed around. Well, Facebook's like, dude, why are you trying to send people to YouTube?
No.
Why are you trying to send people off of our application? We want you to stay here. And so that's that greed factor, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
So, okay, so that's a perfect, segue into business,
Mhm.
right? Because you and I started out and it was all about freaking mortgage, right?
Yeah.
We're going to do and then what we realize is there's 40,000 other people out there that are simply mortgage also.
Oh, yeah.
And my biggest thing was, I always forgot it.
Yeah.
You know that. He always called me, Jimmy, where's your stuff?
Yeah. Where's your content?
And so what I like about this, it's more open and we just talk more and we can we can talk about mortgage, we can talk business, we can talk social media, so much we can talk about because, we are more than mortgages here.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about, we're going to put two scenarios.
Okay.
A business that is just starting out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is the one mistake new businesses make when they try social media?
Oh, dude. What do they not? That's the better question.
Right.
No. I think a lot of it is you don't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
And so partnering and working with somebody like me who's in it day in, day out and knows what you need to be doing to land in front of who you want to land in front of, right? Is I mean, again, you know what you know.
Well, I mean, that's a great
don't know
point
what you
because everybody thinks, okay, you just go post something.
Yeah.
Right. But what I learned working with you is that there's certain times of the day we want to post.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There's certain days of the week we want to post. And depending on what we're posting, that could change.
Yeah, but that's changing now even. Like in the sense
I'm glad I don't.
in the sense of time frames, it's not even relevant anymore because the algorithm is so strong now that it just places your content in front of the people that consume that, and it doesn't matter what time you post.
Because that was a big deal when we were doing Reels, right?
It was like crucial times, high impact times of when the most users that are following you are on the platform. We would post and cater to when they are on so that they would potentially engage with it. And then the algorithm would pick it up and highlight it and throw it to more people. Now, that's not even the case. It literally, you post it and it immediately starts going to the people that consume that type of content. So a lot of times people ask me, Uriah, why isn't my content getting more views? Well, there's probably only a small circle of people that are actually consuming that type of content. That's why I preach all the time. We need to do what you love. We need to post what you love. What are you excited about? What makes you come out cycling? All these different things.
Well, and be a podcast host right now and drilling my man.
Yeah.
But I think so I can only talk about myself, right?
Yeah.
And when you first approached me, I'm thinking, why do I need to hire somebody to do this? Right? Because they make it sound so easy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just give them the facts.
Yeah.
Tell them what it is, blah, blah, blah. But it's so much more than that.
Yeah.
It's so much, your content is everything.
Preach.
And what you put in there is so important because we think the more we tell them, the better it's going to be. But that may not be the case because they may just pull one or two statements out of that and be good. So here's the other one is how come people read my content, but I don't get a like?
Yeah.
Am I that crappy at what I'm doing?
No. So I'll just say it. People are lazy. At me. At Uriah Stepp. People are lazy, man. And why do I need to like? Why do I need to go follow your content if I am gonna get your content anyways?
Because that was the trend years ago, right?
Yeah. Back in the day, the likes, the follows mattered. It wasn't just a vanity metric like it is now. It was important. It was important
for business purposes,
for algorithm purposes, for your stuff to get out in front of people, and it would follow your audience, your already following audience, and replicate that and put it in front of the masses that way. Now it just takes the entire whole of social media and says, who's consuming this type of content? Let's put it out there.
So even though people aren't liking you, that's not saying they don't like your content.
Dude, the key metric right now is viewership. Viewership. That is the most important metric right now is the attention, is the sets of eyeballs that actually see it. That's what matters more than a like, more than a comment, more than a follow or a subscribe, right? Like, that is where it's at, because the more they sit on your stuff, the more the algorithm is going to put your content in front of them over and over and over again, hopefully warming them up to become a client.
Because when we look at my stuff with all the analytics, they even know how the average time somebody's looking at your stuff.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, like, I remember we saw one that was like 8 seconds, and
Mhm.
I'm thinking, "Damn, that's not good." And you're going, "No, they looked."
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So we got through the hello, this, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah stuff, and they just, okay, I know what it's about,
Yep.
and they move on. And
Yep.
sometimes that could be a good thing because you're reaching them quicker,
Yeah.
right? Like they know, okay, I know this, I understand this, I'm moving. I don't need the whole 30 seconds.
Right. Well, and that's why a hook is so important in your content, right? Like to grab their attention immediately so they stick around.
Yeah.
And that's tricky, especially like, with podcast content, because we're just sitting here having a conversation and somebody scrolls up to the conversation. They're like, this is interesting. But if we didn't say anything like enticing at the forefront, they're going to be like, these two freaking old farts are just sitting here having a conversation. Like, what the heck? Scroll past
the
it,
hell are you
right?
going to talk about?
Exactly. And so having something that really grabs their attention from the get-go is super important. And so you can utilize AI to do some of this stuff. You can create content in the way of, okay, I'm going to have a hook, I'm going to have some meat, and I'm going to have a call to action. Right? Like
Right.
that's the structure for success. And it has been for a while. And short form content is still the king. Right. So we're doing longer form content here.
Right.
But then we take this content, right?
And we chop it up.
Chop it up and make it shorter so that we drag people to the longer form and drag people into the bigger conversation of what we're having.
So I've been doing this for 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah.
And I come to you, let's say that we haven't worked together. How come I'm not clicking on social media? I've been doing this for, so much time. Why aren't I clicking like Joe Bob here, selling cars at Down the Road Motors?
Right.
What's he doing that? How come I can't get anything?
Yeah. And so back to like, I think it's the type of content that you put out. So like I have clients that I work with that do this style of content, but they also supplement it with going on some hiking adventure, going and making a crap ton of good food, and they put that on there. So to the point of why does Joe sell so many more cars and get more business than me that's doing even more content, even more straight to the point? Like, why is he outperforming me? Well, people shop for cars all the time.
Right.
Like it's a relatable thing. Like when I see a car and he's doing some sort of jingle while he's trying to sell the car, or like he just randomly pops into a Jaguar and he's like, "Ooh, this is nice." Or, a Lamborghini drives by, like that captivates people because we're obsessed with cars as humans, which is crazy because I want a spaceship. But
even like on the mortgage side, like I see people that are doing social media, or talking about the same thing, but they're getting more activity. Is the word. That's where you kind of scratch your head.
So it could be a couple different things. One, there are pockets of people that basically come together and they say, "Hey, push my content, I'll push your content. Like follow my content, I'll follow your content." And the other key metric behind viewership is shareability. So I'm giving you the secret sauce right now to Instagram's algorithm, okay? The viewership is important, and just as important is shareability, meaning like if I see your reel and I find it so valuable that I'm going to share it with my friend group, or I'm going to share it with family members, or share it with whoever, then that tells the algorithm that this is super good content because they're sharing it to everybody. And so shares matter. So one thing, for instance, like whenever we post, that's probably a healthy habit, is to immediately start sharing it with people that you know are going to engage with it.
Okay, what if you have a very small circle, though?
Yeah, that's tricky, right? So if you don't have a bunch of people like in your immediate group, then going to different Facebook groups and dropping your content in there, right?
Right.
Like going to emails, right? Sharing your content through emails. That's always a good way to get it out there and get it in front of people, right? Because just sharing it to your platform only does so much.
Right.
But if you are sharing it on other platforms, if you're taking the link and copying it and sending it to people through text message, if you're taking that piece of content and sharing it through the Messenger app, like all of those shares are registering with the algorithm and it tells it. So if you go look at some of these successful other guys in the mortgage industry, right?
Right.
You'll see that their shares are probably through the roof. Like whenever they make a piece of content, they immediately say, okay, the content's dropped. Either they or they have an assistant sharing it to their entire network to grow.
So yeah, you tell me that this is all about patience, right?
Yes.
Because we could spend a ton of money on Google Ads and all that other stuff and don't know really what the return is. You know, we're not going to be the controversial podcast, which skyrockets numbers, right?
Right.
You know, and so it's almost like the slow and go almost, right?
Yeah.
You know, just
Slow and steady.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is showing up, right? Not looking at necessarily the views or the metrics, because you can get caught up in that and drive yourself mad. I think what's more important, how many uploads are we uploading? How regular are we staying in front of people?
Right.
I think that is what we are to focus on, rather than just looking at the numbers and saying, oh, so-and-so got 1,000 likes, and on my piece of content that I uploaded today, I got freaking 20 views.
You know, that's a great point, because my buddy was a stockbroker, and he goes, if you watch your stock's price daily, you're going to go crazy, especially if you're not trading.
Yeah.
But if you're just looking at them every day, you're going to go freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Because you can't control it. Yeah, it's up and down.
Yeah.
So I've kind of gotten away from looking at all those analytics.
Yeah.
I mean, you tell me what they are, and it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
We're doing better here. We're doing worse there.
Right.
But it's something I look at that I got no control over.
Right.
I can just put out there what I got and see how it resonates with people.
For sure. Yeah. And that's the thing is when you mass produce content, right? Like, I think that's important in the sense of you can then figure out what does well with your audience, right? So we've been doing this for like a month now.
Right.
And you're like blowing up on YouTube, like tons of views, right? 23,000 views one month. You know, this last month, it's like even more than that, right? So you're getting the viewership. Now the conversation is around, how do we convert people? Well, we look at what type of content is doing well, and we double down on that. That's the strategy.
That's a great segue into, okay, we find out what's doing good. What do we do?
Yeah.
And how do we do it where we don't burn them out on it too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because, well, I would say burnout, that's a question in everybody's head. They think that their audience is going to be overwhelmed by what type of content they're putting out there and stuff like that. However, I guarantee you the majority of your following doesn't consume mortgage content. So the algorithms aren't going to place your content in front of them.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not even necessarily about, because, dude, all the big guys are putting out 400 pieces of content a week.
Yeah.
400 pieces of content a week. Sometimes 400 pieces of content a day.
That would.
They have teams of 30 people on their payroll, and they're making it happen, right? Like that's insane. But that shows you the power of social media and why. I mean, people are spending insane amounts of money on organic content. They're not even running ads with it.
So let's ask this question then. How does a small guy compete?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the small guy,
Me.
it's anybody's ball game right now. That's the beautiful thing. The algorithm doesn't have favorites.
It doesn't care how many pieces you put out. It's just what the pieces that people
It's
like.
what's relating.
Right.
And so these people realize how powerful the relation process is to content. And so they're just putting it out there and they're A/B testing through 400 pieces of content. That's not going to stifle you out. That's not going to like make it to where people don't see your content. What it is it's just they're trying to figure out what they need to focus on. And it's the same thing that we should be doing.
So they're just taking stuff and throwing on the wall and see what sticks.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, they're staying within their niche of what it is that they focus on. Like Alex Hormozy, for instance, he's a big, he buys businesses, scales them, and sells them. He started out in the gym and fitness industry, right?
Right.
And now he's built his business so much so that, and he's just dropped another book called 100 Million Money Markets. So he did 100 million offers, 100 million leads, and now it's 100 million money markets because he's bought businesses, scaled them, and sold them so many times. He knows what market to be focusing on.
Right.
And so he wrote a book on it, and it's coming out, I think, August. And so like that's his game, and that's why he's putting out 400 pieces of content at a time, because he realized the power of organic social media. Yeah, he's got millions of followers, and so that, yeah, helps his content grow and succeed. But anybody, it only takes one. Anybody could get to that level. Like Gary Vee talks about this all the time. You know, Gary Vaynerchuk?
Mm-hmm.
He talks about how, you know, if there was ever a competitor with Apple, some dude that started in his garage and like posted on TikTok one day, and that TikTok got 30 million views, that would change that man's life forever, because people would be interested in what he was doing.
So they're looking for more content again.
So guess what? When he uploads the next one, people are going to be like, oh, and if he has a call to action in there, hey, click this link and buy my new phone. Boom. People are on that crap. Like, I mean, stuff is happening now where somebody posts freaking video of them drinking grape juice, and the grape juice is sold out across the nation. Like, grape juice. What the? Ocean spray, you know?
Yeah.
Like CVS, they had a package of candy for a while, and somebody made a video of that package of candy, sold out across the nation. Do you know what that does to a market?
Changes it.
Dude, like, you just walked into, you know, $50 million overnight.
Wow, that's freaking crazy. But that's the power of social media.
That's the power, and these people recognize it. And so if you can set yourself up for success now, one of these is gonna like launch, and then you're killing it. And then also taking organic stuff that you know that works, and downing on it in the sense of putting ad dollars behind it and boosting the post because it already did well. So you know it's gonna do well as an ad.
Right.
That's how you save money instead of dumping a whole bunch of money on ads, which may not provide you what you want.
Yeah, because I tried that, and yeah, people stop, but nobody engaged.
Right.
And that's a big thing. So I know I'm killing us on time.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, good. So we've talked about the algorithm and the changes and content and that stuff, because we've kind of put a lot of stuff under that first question I asked you. What got you into social media? That should have been my first question.
That's a good question. So what got me into social media? Well, 2014, that's when I became a beta tester, if you will. I was on social media in 2008, right? When Facebook became popular, and you know,
Now, did they reach out to you to be a beta tester, or
so it was actually they offered it to people on the platform
Okay.
to become a beta tester, and I just said yes, right? So I literally just entered the application, filled it out, and they approved me. And now even on my phone app, it says beta. You can't get access to that program anymore because it's done. There's already 3,000 people in that.
So they filled it out.
Yeah, you can't, like, I can't say, hey, go click this link right now and sign up for it's non-existent for people now. But so that in 2014, that's when I entered that program. But I was on social media before. I was on Facebook. I was on MySpace. I was on Zynga. Like, these are platforms that some people are like, what the heck are you talking about, dude? Zynga? What's Zynga? You know, I remember HTML coding my header with Green Day and like Mudvayne.
We'll put this in perspective.
Yeah.
Those are the dinosaurs.
Those are the dinosaurs, bro. Those were the frameworks that launched social media into what it is today. That's what those were. And so then Facebook started taking off, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I had some friends that were, making money, posting content, doing photography content. Instagram came out. Before it was Instagram, it was called Bourbon, which is a whiskey platform for people to just connect over whiskey. They'd take pictures of their whiskeys, and they would connect that way.
Wow.
Now it's Instagram, right? Now it's what it is today, and it started out with photographers, right? They would just take bomb pictures of landscapes and just cool abstract photography and stuff like that. And there was different filters that you swipe through, and you could choose a different filter and make it look cool. And you drop 30 hashtags to grow your account, right?
Right.
Now it's evolved into video. I think all social media has evolved to video. So what got me kicked into overdrive was I was director of business development for a real estate brokerage in Fort Worth, Texas.
Right. I remember you telling me about that.
And so I was studying out systems and stuff like that. And me and my buddy, we would just make stupid reels, because this was when Instagram Reels first came out. We would do all the stupid dances. They were two big guys.
Oh, God,
like,
where are those reels right now?
They're on there. Go look. And so then it became more of like, okay, I want to just make content around what I'm doing. One of my first reels was me driving a Tesla with no hands. We test drove a Tesla, and my buddy was recording me, and I was like, look, Mom, no hands. And dude, still to this day, Teslas freak me out. I won't get one, but Elon convinced me otherwise. Okay. So it took me off and stuff like that, but that got like 5,000 views. Just me, like,
no hands.
Look, Mom, no hands. And it was during COVID, and I had the mask around my chin and just like, just dumb, right? And I was like, that's kind of crazy. Well, a couple weeks later, we go to Costco, and we're going to make some steaks. And me and my buddy Chris again, and his wife is basically saying, hey, we don't need A1 sauce. And we were already up at the front of the line ready to check out. Nobody wants to freaking walk all the way back there, right? And I was like, Chris, just put the sauce underneath the conveyor belt. Just put it on there. I'm gonna video you. We're gonna put it back, but I'm gonna video you doing this, and I'm gonna caption it and say, when you're at Costco and you don't want to walk back to put something up. Bro, that opened that was my most viewed reel, 22.9 million views. 22.9 million.
Wow.
I truly believe every Costco employee across the nation saw this video, and they were death threatening me. They were like, you idiot, this is why I have to clean up all this stuff. You're a terrible person. I can't believe you're promoting this on the internet. Da, 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 da. And so then I was like, whoa, this is powerful. Like, I can reach that many people with some stupid content. So how can I use it to create business? How can I use it to, nourish my audience with my brand? And so then it became a study. And then I started bringing everything into my brain, organizing it, trial and error, what works, what doesn't. And then we moved out here to Colorado, and I took a job with Coldwell Banker Realty. I was a success coach there. And I would help agents on systems and processes and how to leverage them for more business. Dude, the majority of the questions that I was getting, both in the real estate brokerage and with Coldwell as a success coach, were revolving around social media because people were already realizing the power of it and how can I use this to my success in whatever venture I'm doing. And so I had an unfortunate divorce about 2.5 years ago. And I decided that I was going to be a present father with my kids.
Yep. Good for you.
And so I went into work a week on and a week off because when it's true 50-50 split.
Right.
When I have my girls, I really don't want to work too much. I'll take a call here and there, but like I don't want to focus all my attention on it. And so I decided to open up my own shop just around social media. And that's when I started Conversion Social. Right. And you were with me during that come up, and now it's Stature Ventures. And so now I'm doing all sorts of coaching and consulting around social media. I'm helping people create content, basically like brand mastery.
Right.
That's my focus, is helping people utilize social media to extend their brand because that's what I had success with. Whenever I was in business as a real estate agent, I saw and witnessed the power of social media and sharing it and getting it out there in front of the masses, and them coming up to me, hey, I saw your content. Congratulations on that close. Da, 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 da. I'd have people, title reps and stuff. Hey, let's go to lunch. You close the deal. Lenders coming out the woodwork. Hey, let's work together. Send me your next deal, just because I'm posting on social media. And that's the power of connection and community. And that's what social media was built around. And so why keep that to myself when I can help others utilize this and get in front of other people? And even if you are starting out and you don't start converting right away, you're nourishing people. You are getting in front of people all the time. They are seeing your stuff. They, the calls to action are, subscribe or give me a call and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But some people aren't ready for that. Some people aren't to that place yet. But as long as your content stays in front of them, you're going to be the guy that they call when they're ready.
Right. That's true, because it's like you said with automobiles, it's like real estate agents and mortgage people, right?
Yeah.
I think sometimes though mortgage people, real estate agents more because they can turn more houses.
Yeah.
Right. And so, what we've learned over the past, and I think this is where social media is helping me. It's helping me stay in front of people, right? Because the average, you do a mortgage every 7 years, right? Or a refinance, right? Or people. Let me think that quite quick. The average time a person stays in the home is like 7 years. So at that point, you're either going to do refinance, whatever that stuff is. So it's hard to keep those tracks, right? And now with social media, what I've learned is that I can still stay in front of them, and that keeps my name in their minds. And that's the whole thing we want to do with social media.
Right. And I would say too, to that, a lot of people, think about cold calling and cold emailing and stuff like that as a way of marketing. And that does work. Hear me say that. It can work, especially for the right person that's really grinding and really doing it. However, where are people at on their phones?
Social media.
What are people talking about? What are they doing? Where are they having these conversations? Usually it's social media. And so if people are there, you got to go where the people are.
Right.
You've heard me say this numerous times. You got to be in front of the people, and the way to be in front of the people nowadays is on social media.
And I think that's a great balance with cold calling and being on social media at the same time, because you can always direct them to your stuff, right?
Absolutely.
you know, and
Absolutely.
with us on the podcast, I mean, they have to wait a while to get to the mortgage stuff.
Yeah.
You have to hear all this stuff.
No.
But I think that's true. I think there's a balance there,
Mhm.
and it's scary to be on social media.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I talk a lot,
Mhm.
so it doesn't really bother. But remember when I first started in
Yeah.
front of the camera, it was very stiff. You told me you're very stiff,
Yeah. The nerves were real.
right?
Yeah.
But when you have that camera staring at you,
Yeah.
you freeze up.
Yeah.
But over time, you
Get more
get
comfortable.
better with it. So I would encourage everybody
Mhm.
that's thinking about it to go
Yeah.
ahead and be in front of that camera.
Yeah.
Even pretend
Yeah.
you're in front of record it,
Right.
but that doesn't mean you're going to drop it.
Right.
Just to get used to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can overthink how our content is going to look and how people are going to portray us. Fear is false evidence appearing real.
Right.
It's made up, it's a figment of our imagination. Like, it's not even happened yet, and we're over here paralyzed by it.
Oh, we're already thinking failure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And to that, right? Like failure. I think people are so scared of failing when really failing just sets you on a different trajectory to know, okay, that didn't work. So I need to do this. So you're actually advancing through failure to get closer to your goal and where you want to be when you fail. And so that's why Gary Vee talks about all the time, fail quick, fail fast.
Yeah.
Like just get the failure out of the way. Like figure out, try different things. If that doesn't work, big freaking deal, dude. Like it's all good. Like just keep going.
Well, a lot of it too is image, right?
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
want to look stupid on
Right.
there. I may, whatever the case may be, not only are you afraid of failure, but you're afraid your image is going to be hurt, because we had this conversation when it came to scamming
Mhm.
after we turned off the mics.
Mhm.
And I asked you point blank, I
Mhm.
said, is this going to hurt me professionally?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And you said, no.
Yeah.
I said, why not? Because you're being human.
Right.
So sometimes just being you is the greatest gift you can give somebody.
Dude, I'm saying. Yeah, absolutely. Like I think that's the biggest thing is social media for so long has been this show. This highlight reel, this fakery, like anybody can buy a bunch of fake bills online and go around and give them out to people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like anybody can go rent a Lamborghini for a day and take a bunch of pictures and make it look like it's theirs.
So do you think that the cycle is turning back to more organic, more realism? You're always going to have that. You're always going to have that stuff out there that's just crazy, right?
Mhm.
But do you think businesses, personal, it's going to go back to more of a organic type of spin because maybe people are tired of seeing all the crap?
Yeah, I mean, I can speak for myself. Like, I'm sick of seeing the fake crap. I'm sick of these gurus out here pulling wool over people's eyes and making them, spend millions of dollars on some bull crap, and it doesn't even work.
Right. I mean, just me as a mortgage guy, I go on Facebook. You know how much stuff I get about mortgages?
Yeah.
And how all these guys can get 100 leads. You can make $1 million, and all you're doing is paying for something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You're paying for a service. You're paying for them to sit on a call with you and just talk and not actually do anything.
Right.
Right. Like, and actually like make a difference and move forward. And I think for me, like I'm sick of seeing all that stuff. I know you're sick of seeing all. I think we're all as human beings, I think we're all coming to terms and we've flipped a switch on discernment and we can read right through the bullshit.
Right.
We can tell when this is all just a bunch of fake crap and it's not going to amount to anything and it's just like the same thing over and over and over again. And so, yeah, I think for sure the people are going to start, engaging and interacting with content that is more real.
Right.
More raw, more like, okay, you're sharing your story of that crap that you went through. I can relate to that because I've been through this. So yeah, I like that.
Right.
Yeah, I'll comment and I'll say, I remember whenever this happened to me, right? Like,
right.
So I think that is definitely like where things are headed. But also on the flip side of the coin, right? You've got AI.
Yeah, that is a whole nother beast.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
But I would say, here in the near future, they're influencers on Instagram right now. They're talking about whatever it is that they're talking about, working out, hacks, cameras, equipment, right? Cars. There's people that are influencing people to buy or do whatever it is that they're talking about, right?
Right.
Well, there is a huge rush coming, the gold rush, right? Well, there's a huge rush coming in the AI sector around AI influencers.
See, yeah, we're gonna, I'm putting it on the list
Yeah.
for another podcast
Yeah.
because everything when it comes to technology can be used the right way
Mm-hmm.
and the wrong way,
Mm-hmm.
right? We've seen that on, like Facebook profiles
Yes.
that aren't real, right? We see with AI also where you think you're talking to somebody, and now they're saying that. So I got something on Facebook that said, "Hey, Jimmy, if you're busy, you don't want to answer your phone, we have an AI receptionist for you."
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
To me, that's scary.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild because I think that's the power of AI, right? Is you can now utilize it for the mundane tasks that you do within business, and I think that's the way to succeed.
Right. I totally agree.
But there's still gonna be a human touch, especially like I was on a podcast and I was talking to a buddy of mine named David Carter, and we were talking about just this. Is AI gonna take over? I think in some sectors, yes.
Well,
It's already had.
anything
It
with
already
technology,
has.
right?
Yeah. I mean, look at Microsoft, and they're dropping 25% of their employees because of AI, right? So like stuff like that, certain sectors, yes. However, somebody's always going to need somebody to guide them through a process.
Right.
And AI can do that, but it's not very humanistic.
And it's just to a point.
You're right. Right.
Right.
It's and each deal, like in the mortgage industry, is different.
Right.
There's different numbers involved. There's different rates involved. There's different down payments involved. There's different everything. Each deal is different. And so, yes, AI could analyze that data and then spit out some stuff. But ultimately, I think humans are going to want to interact with humans.
So here's the thing, like when you call a business, right?
Mhm.
And now they have the chat boxes.
Yeah.
And they're very limited because it's just AI, right? And so you get to a point where you get so frustrated because you just want, that what they're asking does not fit.
Yeah.
But it saves the companies a lot of money
Yeah.
for them to take all those questions and filter them.
Well, they're wasting your time.
Yeah.
And so they're prolonging you actually talking to an agent. So that saves that company a crap ton of money in labor, one.
Right.
And two, like when actually you do get into the issue or the problem, then they have to perform and fulfill on whatever it is. And that's more money spent. And so for businesses, they're like, yeah, I love AI. It's saving me a ton of money. But on the service side, where you need to talk to these people, that's a slippery slope just to put AI bots out there and hope that it pre-qualifies them before they talk to you. There is a place for automation.
Right. And, but I think where companies are going to succeed
Mm-hmm.
is if they can balance that AI, but not make it so hard to find a person to talk to.
Right.
Right. Because like myself, I was talking to a credit card company and it was like, none of this fits.
Mm-hmm.
Just let me hit 0 for
Mhm.
operator. Right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even an option,
Yeah.
until you hold on to that one little section that's close to what you want, but you have to wait and hear everything. And then at the end they go, oh, if you need immediate service,
Yeah.
Well, hell, just tell me that up front. If it doesn't fit any, and I know what they're thinking, well, everybody's going to press zero, Jimmy, right?
Mhm.
Maybe not,
Yeah.
but it's just like it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah. And I just experienced this with a big issue, um, with a finance company and stuff like that. And I was going through their online chatbot. And, you know, it asked me a question and I told it what I needed. And then it asked me another question and I told it what I needed. And finally it said, okay, how would you like to be contacted? Would you like to be contacted through a phone call, a chat, or an email? And email's freaking dinosaur, right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, chat or call. I'm like, if I get in a chat, I can't really portray, they can't hear my tonality. They can't really pick up on even the frustration of what the problem is. I'm going to take the call. And so it called me immediately. And I was like, this is good AI.
Right.
This is actually what needs to happen. However, a lot of those other places, it's just a chatbot and it's like, or you finally connect to a live agent, you know, on the chat, but it just, you have to over and over again say the same thing and tell it like, hey, listen, this is what I'm facing. This is the problem that I need fixed. And it takes way too long.
Right. And I think financial institutions, since there's money involved, I mean, they got to make it easy, right? And that's what I like about First Bank here in
Mhm.
Colorado is that I can call the number and I can skip through all the stuff and just hit zero,
Mhm.
right? You know, because I know it's not going to fit. This is a weird thing. You know, if I'm buying cryptocurrency or something like that, it's one of those weird things, right? And I
Mhm.
like that.
Mhm.
And that's why I don't leave,
Mhm.
right? Because they got me on their service,
Mhm.
you know? So let's take a minute here and let's kind of take a mortgage break.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got a call from a client today
Mhm.
and we were talking, you know, and of course, so the name on the thing was Courtney, right? So I'm thinking it's a woman, right? Because I don't know a lot of Courtney men.
Mhm.
She goes, "Oh no, that's my husband." I thought, oh, okay, this is a great way to kick off the start of a call, you know, call her the wrong name. And we laughed about it, but she goes, I go, "So I heard you guys want to buy a house." She goes, "Yeah, we just sold our other house in 2 days. And we already have another house picked out, and we need to get a mortgage." So the reason I bring that up is that rates are dropping.
Mhm.
We're like at about a 6.7 right now. The word on the street is they'll probably get down to a 6.5 by the end of the year, hopefully more. But we're hearing stories about, well, this house sits on for 30 days, 60 days. How come these houses are going, you know, in 2 days, you know, like my house did? And we talked about this earlier, right? You
Mhm.
know, presentation, all that stuff. But it goes to being pricing,
Yeah.
you know, because as a buy, a lot of buyers don't have like a 20 or $30,000 swing in what they can buy, right? It's a lot more limited. So if you hit that sweet spot for a lot of people,
Mhm.
that house is going to move,
Mhm.
you know, and it goes back to what we talked about is that you think your home is all that in a slice of cheese, put it on the market
Mhm.
and then find out.
Yeah.
But I think there are homes that are going very fast,
Yeah.
right? And I think we're seeing more homes on the market.
And so you would say that it's revolving around pricing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Mhm.
Because it's it's really not a seller's market, right? Because the inventory is limited. Um, and they say, well, there's a lot of buyers. No, things have changed. You know, just as we talked about before, there's a lot of people that can't get into a home right now,
Mhm.
especially those higher ends.
Mhm.
So pricing is so important, and your agent's got to know that market, right?
Mhm.
You know, that's like me bringing an agent from Albuquerque to sell my house because I'm friends with that agent. It ain't gonna work.
Mhm.
But I think what we're seeing is maybe with the rates simmering down a little bit,
Mhm.
we're starting to see more activity, which is good.
Mhm.
You know, because we're still early in the sales season.
Yeah.
You know, we're only in, you know, it's the 4th of July weekend coming up, so that tells you when we're recording. Um, but so another quick story. So my wife and I, my ex-wife, we got married and we lived in Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Mm.
And she got transferred to Phoenix, and so did I.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever shopped for a home on the 4th of July weekend? That's freaking nuts. It's the stupidest thing we ever, and we're in Phoenix.
Is it just because everybody's off work and so everybody's shopping and
traffic sucks, especially in Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
My ex-wife because I was already there, and she got there and she was just like shaking because the traffic was so bad.
Man.
And a lot of people will shop for homes on 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because they get time from work and so on and so forth. So I would not recommend again, you know. But
that's a good story.
Yeah.
Don't shop on 4th of July weekend.
Unless you have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's where we are in the market right now.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it continues to pick up.
Yeah.
You know, and we end up strong.
Yeah.
But interest rates going down will help a lot. Even that quarter, you know, from 6.7 to 6.5.
Yeah, I know for a while Jerome Powell was like, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Is that still the case? Or
it is, because I think recession, nobody really talks about it.
Yeah.
But it's in the back room.
Yeah.
Inflation, we're not hearing a lot about inflation, but the prices are still high.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't want to say a whole bunch to spook anything.
Yeah.
So we got all this stuff hanging in the back corners of the room.
Yeah.
And recession could hit.
Yeah.
You know, we got this, you know, we got the big, beautiful bill.
Yeah.
Which is the stupidest name for it. Don't even get me started on that.
What does all that entail? What is it? I don't
you know what? I didn't read it just because of the title.
Yeah.
You know, they say never judge a book by its title.
Yeah.
Well, this one I did because
yeah.
So, but I think there's some stuff in there that maybe help get some interest rates lowered or things like that. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah.
But I do need to read it just for just on the mortgage side of things.
Yeah.
But I think if it does kind of simmer everything down, like thank God that Israel and Iran have simmered down.
Chilled out.
Yeah. You know, we still have Ukraine and Russia going on.
Yeah.
Right. And we don't know what China's doing. You know, they are like that big giant, not monster, but they're growing.
Yeah. The sleeping giant.
The sleeping giant.
Yeah.
Because what they want to do is they want their currency to take place in the US dollar.
Yeah.
And if that happens, that's going to be huge against you.
So I got a question for you. What about digital currency?
Okay, so here's the latest thing. I was talking to one of my mentors, and all the big banks, they're setting up to take all type of cryptocurrency. They're even thinking about doing mortgages where the crypto is held, right? And they pay interest on it.
Yeah, it's an asset.
Yeah, they pay. They pay interest on the mortgage, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the bank doesn't care because they got the crypto here and they're getting their interest.
Dude, I just saw BlackRock buy $3 billion worth of Bitcoin.
Yes.
What is that? What is that?
Because what they're seeing is that Bitcoin is moving all over without any type of walls, right? Like, for instance, if I go to Italy and I want to buy a house, well, I got to convert my American dollars to euros, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bitcoin, what that value is, whether it's in Italy or United States, it's that value,
mm-hmm.
you know? And I think the big banks see that they're losing assets.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't shoving money into the bank
mm-hmm.
at a 1 or 2% interest rate, right? They're taking a lot of extra cash and going into crypto.
Or flipping with it.
Yeah.
Like, why would I yield a 1% interest rate over the year when I can make 20% in the market?
Right. Now,
like,
we know how crypto goes up and down, but have you noticed, since the banks have gotten into it a little bit,
a lot more.
It's a lot more steady.
Yeah. The institutions have finally recognized the power of cryptocurrency.
Right. But what's going to happen then, though, too, is if they hold all the crypto, they're going to control the value of it.
Yeah. Well, and other things that I was reading is they'll be certificate holders.
Right.
So they'll own the crypto, but they're only giving you a certificate. So it's still like US currency to an extent, right? It's just like they're just using the term crypto and like putting it out there. And so, I mean, that's what I've always like been hesitant about using a bank to transact crypto or use crypto or whatever. I think I would much rather like be my own, have my own wallet, my own
Right.
account and stuff like that and transact that way. But yeah, it's interesting, man. This whole I feel like we're on the crux right now of something. It's gonna go either way real
Well,
quick.
the thing too is that they know the banks are setting up because they don't care about the baby boomers,
Yeah,
right? They're setting up for the next generations
yeah,
where doing crypto is going to just be like any other
yep,
transaction.
yeah. Go to
And
Starbucks and buy it with Bitcoin.
yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
yep.
And so that's what they're getting in front of.
Mm.
So I just think though that when I heard about on the mortgage side of it, that was like, wow.
The first transaction ever that happened was in Texas, and the title company couldn't even insure it.
Right.
They agreed on both sides that yeah, this is how it's going to happen, and so the title company like did the deal, but there was no insurance involved
No.
because they can't. There was at that point there was no structure in place to ensure a transaction with cryptocurrency because it was so unknown at that point. Now, title companies are making effort in big ways to adopt people paying in crypto, and it's happening all over now.
Right.
Um, and I think, yeah, I think we're starting to see a major shift in finance and economics and stuff like that. I think crypto is going to be taught in schools eventually. You know,
But the thing is, how much people have a lot of crypto? Not a lot of people, right?
right? It's
Right.
still early.
Yeah, it's still way early in the
Yeah.
game.
And I think a lot of people are scared of that. Like, well, what if it fails? Or what if, you know, Satoshi comes back and drains Bitcoin to zero or some, I don't even know all those tales. But like things happening like that, it makes people nervous. However, if the institutions are getting in on it,
Yeah, they know
if the
something.
big people are, you know, the stock market, you follow the whales.
Right.
You watch where, you know, big political powers are moving money around. You watch these wallets and then you're like, maybe I should invest in something like that. Same thing with cryptocurrency, I feel like. I don't think you put all your eggs in that basket, but
No,
it's
you
something that
diversify.
it's something that you spread
yeah,
out.
great point is that people watch what the whales do in any industry,
Yeah,
and people will follow that.
yeah,
So if the big banks are getting into the crypto side,
yeah,
even heavier,
yeah,
because remember they kind of denied it at first, like,
yeah.
oh well, we're not really into crypto, blah.
All the rich dad, poor dad guy, he
Yeah.
was like, it's going to zero.
Yeah.
You know, like Warren Buffett's like, nah, that's bad stuff. You know, now they're like, oh no, bring it on.
Well, I
Like,
think they were lying to begin because they were getting their ducks in a row.
yeah,
Because that crypto there was so much value out there.
yeah,
And, they want that value. So I think we're going to see more of the crypto in different ways. I'm not sure yet. I think we're still like years out,
hmm maybe not.
maybe not. Who knows,
We'll
right?
see. We'll see. It's awesome.
So, yeah, so that's kind of what's going on in the mortgage business.
That's good.
Yeah. So finally, we're at the 6.7s and hopefully get lower.
Make some movement.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I got, I'm so off topic here.
You're good.
Okay. Top 3 content pillars for posting weekly. I think
Man, like that's tough because I don't want to just broad it out because each niche is different, I would say. But if I had to pick 3 content pillars, I would say educational, entertaining, and just crap you love to do. Like stuff that you are passionate about and that you desire and that you want to see. Like, I think a combination of all that, Alex Hermosi coined the term edutainment, where it's taking educational content and entertainment and putting them together to hold attention, to, make people laugh, but also they're getting something out of it, right? And while I think that is huge and that's a great way to play, I still think to this day the shit that you love to do is being neglected.
But see, that's the hardest stuff to put on.
I know, because that's super vulnerable. That's super
Right.
like I'm inviting you into my life because I like Red Bull. I'm inviting you into my life because I love coffee. I'm inviting you into my life with my kids and my family and doing things. And yeah, that's freaking crazy. But at the same time, you're giving people a reason to relate and be your raging fan.
Here's when you're in front of somebody and you're talking about what you do, right?
Yeah.
For a living, and you make little jokes like that, right?
Yeah.
You feel confident in that space because you know what the hell you're talking about and you're projecting that.
Right.
When you go to your personal life, and this is me talking, is like, oh, they're gonna think this is so freaking stupid. Again, it's that self-confidence, it's that judgment
Yeah.
you're afraid of, right?
Yeah.
That you don't even know, but you're already projecting that judgment.
Yeah. And to that, I would say there's a great book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
I've read that.
But at the same time, it's super hard, like humanistic, right? Like, I'm putting myself out there to be torn apart.
Right.
Like, I'm putting myself out there in such a way that anybody could say anything about anything and it could hurt me, right? And
Correct.
I think that's to the place of we put too much value in what people think. We just do. We think too much about, how people are going to view this and if people are going to value this or not. And so we just don't do it.
Right.
And I get where that comes from, but at the same time, that's a glass ceiling that we have to break through. We have to get through that to realize, okay, who cares about what that person is going to say, because this probably will relate with some other people. Like,
Exactly.
we don't ever think about that. We just focus and hone in on the negative. But what we're talking about here today may relate with somebody and it may change their entire life. Maybe somebody goes and invests in Bitcoin and it shoots up and it changes their life like overnight, right? Like there is power still in sharing what it is that you love and what it is that you like to do, right? And so, and plus, dude, we cannot cater to just everybody. We can't please everybody. And I think a lot of people have gotten into this rut of people pleasing, so much so that they're doing it at the expense of what it is that they love.
Well, it is too also because let's take me, for instance, cycling.
Yeah.
You feel, well, that cyclist is so much better than me. I mean, what will people like when they can see him?
The comparison.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think that's what it is. It's that self-comparison because there's people out there that love the same stuff you love.
Yeah. And so recognizing going into social media that your mind really easily can shift over into comparison and you see a lot of it on social media. But are you going to do it for them? Or are you going to do it because you love it? Because this is what I love to do. Creating content is what I love. Jimmy, I could sit here all day and do this with you.
Right.
Because I love it. I absolutely love it. There's nothing about it that makes me like, ugh, I don't want to do that. Like, I wake up in the morning, I put 10 toes on the ground and I'm like, I get to do what I love to do today. Like, that's awesome.
But, and we have been raised up on social media for likes, for this, for that, whatever, right? It's just in our brain.
Yeah.
Especially if you also do it on the business side, right? So when you do it on the personal side, your mind already goes to that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I need to get a lot of likes. I
Yeah.
need it. I need people to watch what I'm doing,
Right.
right? So in a way, you've already set yourself up for failure because you're doing it for the wrong things,
Mm-hmm.
especially on the very personal side.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, you listen to all the people that have been successful with social media, and they'll tell you all day, don't do it for the likes. Don't do it for the shares. Don't do it for virality. Don't do it for this, that, the other, because I truly believe people can pick up on that too.
Right.
Like I can tell when I'm watching a piece of content that this person is solely doing this right now for the money. They're doing this right. They don't actually love that product. They don't use that product day in and day out. They're doing it because it's a brand deal and they said that they're going to pay them $50,000 if they talked about it. And so they talk about it. Like I can tell that
Right.
stuff. And so on the same side of the coin, it's like, okay, if that's the case, how many other people are just creating content just to create content for business or just to create content for the almighty dollar, right? And that can be dangerous, because then you get into this cycle where you're performing for an audience, you're performing for, and you lose yourself inevitably. Like, and you do everything for other people, and that's all you do. And dude, I think that's honestly where a lot of people are today. They're just doing it for.
They're robots.
Yeah.
Because when I was doing the reels and with my 25 likes, after a while, it became a drudgery.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I could just like skim out and like we do now, right? We just like go off a tangent,
Yeah.
right? I couldn't do that with that. I
Yeah.
felt like it was so structured and so like,
Got to be professional.
yes.
Got to maintain composure.
Right. And I'm a professional. Like when I need to be, I'm very professional.
Yeah.
But if you just see me on the, out in a cafe or a coffee shop, something like that, it's going to be what you see right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because one of my friends said, "Hey, Jimmy, I saw your podcast."
Yeah.
He goes, "You're in sweats and a long sleeve like shirt. What's going on?" I said, "That's a great question because if you look at so Indigo Mortgage, it's over for my buddy Ben Lucero. His dad was a used car salesman. Supported 7 kids, not a used car salesman. I'm sorry, a car salesman. Supported 7 kids on that.
Yeah.
Ended up buying his own dealership. And his dad got up every day, looked like $1 million, went to work.
Yeah.
He was himself. He was a great guy. So Ben took that philosophy with Indigo Mortgage. We're going to wear ties. We're going to wear nice shirts and slacks.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't do it, but that's how we roll.
Yeah.
And so when you see me with a tie and you see me here, it's like I have a twin brother that's just all over the board, right? But I guess my point is that when we're doing this is very relaxed, and we still talk about business. We still talk about that. When Jimmy's in his tie and shirt, he's seen clients, he's seen realtors. And so there's almost like you see another part of me that I guess you wouldn't see if you just saw me working Monday through Friday or the weekend.
Yeah, I would say you're in your personal element.
Right.
This is promoting I would say your personal brand, right?
My Irish.
Oh my!
I know. You love him or you hate him.
Why did I even come on this podcast? What was I thinking?
Because I'm trying to hit your soul and cheer for the right team.
Hold on. Boomer Sooner.
Oh yeah.
Well, great.
So the last thing I want to talk about today is I know because we're going to do another thing on social media.
Yeah.
Because we just scratched it.
Yeah.
Because I saw everything that I had that we had talked about, and I know that I tend to talk a lot.
Yeah.
And I go on tangents. One thing what spurred on the social media was connection from the scam we talked about last week,
Yeah.
right? And you being a social media guy,
Yeah.
like, here's the difference. Like my young adults,
Mm-hmm.
they can pick up a phone, they can look at a profile and say, Dad, that's fake.
Yeah.
Me, I think it's real,
Yeah.
right? Because they were raised up in it.
Mm.
So, what advice do you have for the everyday person, mom and dad, couple of small kids,
Yeah.
elderly people, when it comes to social media and that connection that's not real? How do you, what can you do about that? How can you kind of like say, step back and say, okay, this is a red flag for me?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of accounts out there that have a huge following, right?
Right,
And they're out there sending people messages like, hey, give me your credit card information and I'll make you a millionaire. I'll send a whole bunch of followers your way or whatever. Right. I think one of the things to look at before you even interact with that person is going to their profile and seeing what kind of engagement they have on their profile. Are there comments? Are there, actual likes? If they've got 95,000 followers and they have one like on every post, red flag, right? Another big one to look out for, especially when it comes to Meta, right?
right.
You'll get a message from what looks to be Meta like security,
Yes,
and they'll pose themselves to be like, hey, there was an error with this, that, the other, or hey, you've put out content that goes against our policies and procedures, and we're going to take your account down if you don't fill out this form.
right.
Right. And there's a link
Yep.
there. 9 times out of 10, that link gives them all your information. It's a hack immediately. And so, first off, Meta will not just reach out and message you like that.
None of them will, were they?
What they'll do is they'll flag your account and you'll get a notification and you'll see that your account is like not there. It's like temporarily disabled. They will immediately take action if it's gone against their policies and procedures. They'll immediately take the content down. They'll immediately temporarily ban your account, right?
Right.
And then from there, you get to email back and forth, or when you log in, there'll be a pop-up where you actually interact with their stuff. Never, ever, ever will they reach out through you through the messaging platform.
Well, wasn't Google doing the thing? Well, Google wasn't doing it, but hackers were, where they were saying you get this alert when you're on Google saying you've been hacked. Please call this number
Yeah.
and let it, So that happened to my mom,
Mm.
and I caught her on it.
Mm.
I can save my mom, but not myself. But it was, and she was ready to call.
Yeah.
Because nobody lies to them,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so it's
Yeah.
like, wow.
It's tricky, and they're getting slyer and slyer, especially with AI and all these other instruments of opportunity, right? Like, I think you really have to step back before you give any of your personal information, before you click any link, before, even if it's like an image, right? It's like a friend that's going around right now, a friend that messages you and said, "Is this you?" And it's like it looks like a Facebook post, and it's some image, but it's kind of blurry, and so they want you to click on it to see if it's you or not, but it's actually a hack, right? You click on the link, stuff like that. They're playing on people's emotions and their vanity, and people getting wrecked their entire life or whatever, right? They're playing on that, and they're trying to get you to click. And so I would just step back, and before you click anything, make sure you know that person. Dude, my dad sends me stuff, right? And I'll message him, "Hey, did you send this to me?" Before I click on it. Like, I won't even click on it until I know for sure that he actually sent it or he got hacked, right? So, like, stuff like that, I wouldn't even click on links unless you can see it and you can see the thumbnail, and again, you can see the person. Like if I send you a YouTube podcast to listen to or something like that, you'll see the thumbnail.
Right.
You'll see what it is, and you'll be able to evaluate and be like, okay, and this is Uriah. I can trust him. I'll click it. Right.
Right.
However, if I send you something that is like, is this you? Or, hey, I need some help. I need some money. Can you send me some money? Or, stuff like that, where it's like, come on, Uriah, are you serious? Like, is this, I would check with that person first.
Right.
Check with them, make sure that it's actually them because that's what hackers do. Is that I have a client. She got hacked. Well, her information got given to the hacker, right? And she has been fighting with Meta for like over 6 months now, trying to get her account back.
Because it's been shut down?
And the hacker then, no, it hasn't been shut down. The hacker got access to it, but she caught it just in time to still change the password and still keep the information and stuff like that. But the hacker is still using the messaging account and messaging all of her following saying, hey, this, click here. And it's like, and so they take advantage of your following is what these hackers do. And they hack more people. And they continue to hack and hack and hack until they find a gold mine. And they're like, okay, let's drain it. Right?
It's a pebble in the pond, right? It just reaches.
It's freaking stupid. And so people are getting taken advantage of day in day. Some of the smartest people I know still fall to scams because they click a link. So all I'm saying is don't click a link unless you know.
Verify.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. What happens if I click the link and I've been hacked? What do I do?
Good question. So I think in that moment, I would reach out to Meta support. I would reach out to whatever platform support you're on, right? And say, hey, I clicked a link and I probably shouldn't have done that. Can we fix this? Most times they'll just tell you need to change your information. You need to change your password. Maybe change the email that the account is associated with. And technically we should be doing that regularly, right?
Right.
Nobody does that.
No.
Nobody. That's why they have to prompt us and say, hey, it's time to change your password, right? So, but I would say to these people that have already clicked the link, reach out. Don't be fucking shameful. Don't be like, oh no, what do I do now? Oh, my life is coming to an end and nobody's going to help me. And if I tell people, they're going to think I'm stupid. It's going to damage this, that, the other. Don't go down that slope. Go down the slope that is support and help, because that's what support is there for.
And it just goes back so much that happened just because we're so ashamed.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So
we think we should have known better. But dude, we're humans and we got to have grace for ourselves. We've got to understand that we're going to make mistakes. We learn from those mistakes and we continue forward.
Because it's not the end of the world.
No, it's not.
Unless you don't take any action.
Right.
Right?
Right. If you just leave it dormant and be the victim, you are going to be the victim. But if you step up to the plate and you say, no, not today, and you go to support and you do what you got to do and you take them to court, you do what you got to do, right?
Right.
You will be taken care of, but you've got to take action. You've got to do something.
So part of this stuff too is to keep notes of everything.
Yeah.
Like
documentation.
When I got scammed.
Yeah.
And one thing that people think that, oh my God, Meta can't save me. Nobody can save me. Well, when I had my situation, you know who was freaking awesome?
Who's that?
Colorado Springs Police Department. They traced my money for like 12 wallets, right? FBI didn't do it. Nobody else did it except the Colorado Springs Police Department.
Wow.
And you know what? I went because they say notify locally. I did it just because you got to do it locally. I didn't expect anything from them.
Right.
And she called me back. It was detective. And she goes, Jimmy, we traced it this far. That's as far as I can go. I said, you know what? Thank you so much, because at least I heard from you guys. You guys tried.
Jeez,
so
that's incredible.
Don't think your local police department can't do anything.
Right.
because they have cyber people too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the cyber force is actually increasing because of cyber crimes and, comments over the internet and stuff like that. That's why you got to be careful. You got to
Yeah.
be careful about what you say, because what you say can and will be held against you. Like it will. So like, you know, I was just watching a reel the other day, and it was Gary Vee, and he was like, "Tell me one good reason why another human being should shit on another human being." And there is none.
No.
And so, like, all these people out here, slaying their spouses on Facebook and doing this and that and the other just to belittle people. And it's like, dude, that could come bite you in the ass. Like, I know a lot of these people are doing reaction videos just for like viewership and just for like people think it's funny and stuff like that. But people should really be like thinking about before they just do this stuff online, because it's public.
Right.
And even when it's private, it's still public. Like,
yeah, nothing.
People, the court system will find a way to access it,
because laws are catching up to cybercrime.
Well, and these platforms have to.
Right.
They have to furnish it over. Whenever there's a major crime at play, they have to give it up.
Yeah. If they don't, that tells you something about the platform.
Yeah.
But you know what? When we go, so we tail back into what to look out for. One thing I think also too is if you have any questions, just ask somebody.
Yeah.
I wish I would have.
Yeah.
Right. I wish I would have asked my kids, but I thought I knew everything and I didn't know anything. They'll agree to that point also. So if anything looks suspicious, nothing is that freaking, if they make it that, you got to do it now. No, you don't.
Yeah. Yeah. You never have to, don't act in haste. I think that's the biggest thing. Like with anything, big purchases, when you're buying a home, right? When you're buying a vehicle, when you're making a huge investment, like think about it.
Yeah.
Don't like, we underestimate the power of our brain and the power of our being. Like there is so much within us to help guide and direct us, but we always look outward. We look, we look, oh, this person's successful. Maybe they can save me in this situation. When really, if we look inward and we think about it and we actually like, okay, yeah, this is the direction I need to go.
Well, even if you're questioning that email or that tells you something right there. Your gut is saying, something's not right.
Yeah.
Right. But we say, oh no, it's all fine, right? Because it came from so-and-so. And like with your friend, your client didn't come from her. It came from somebody else. So that's a great thing, is that sometimes our own gut will tell us.
Yeah, we should listen to our gut more often, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not talking about the pizza that you want to order right now. I'm talking about like we should actually like pay attention to our intuition, our gut. I think we sleep on it more often than we should.
Also, too, I think they say, like, if you want to buy something, let's say you buy it, you shop a lot, but they say, okay, I like this. I'll come back in 30 days or a week. And if I still want it, then I'll get it.
Yeah.
But when it's on the internet, you think everything has to be responsive, right? Because we respond to everything, right? I mean, even us just scrolling, we're responding.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes the bad people know that.
Yeah.
That's why they want to make it sound like, oh, this is so important, you got to respond.
And they don't even have to be bad. I was buying tickets the other day, concert tickets. And it comes up and it says, there's only 3 tickets left. Well, magically, after those 3 tickets disappeared, magically, there's more tickets. Magically. Like, I mean, the price didn't change or anything like that, but it's like, I fell for it.
Yeah.
I fell for the marketing.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
We do, because again, we got to respond.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But no, this has been good. And like I said, we're going to attack some more of it again.
Yeah.
Because I think we just touched, you threw out so much information the first 10 minutes,
Yeah.
And so I appreciate all the information. But like, our gig is kind of helping people. If we
Mhm.
can help them, great.
Yeah.
Throw a little mortgage business in there, great.
Yeah.
But the main thing we would like to do was help.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that was the whole basis of this show,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So we'll hit some more on it. And then like I said, I was horrible following my outline today.
Yeah. You're good.
I got stuck on one thing, man. We
You're
rolled.
good. You're good.
Uriah, thanks,
Thank you,
brother.
Jimmy. Appreciate you,
It's
man.
been awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.